How's it going there, football fans? We are back at it with another DiGiorgio fantasy football video. And in this video, I'm going to go over some of the free agency signings. There's been plenty of madness been going on since free agency started on St. Patty's Day. And yeah, it is fun. It makes me excited for this next football season. I know baseball is starting up here, but all I can think about is football right now. I don't know if it's just me. But yeah, so in this video, I'm going to go over four receivers: John Brown, AJ Green, Nelson Agholor, and Curtis Samuel. And make sure you stay updated with this channel because I am going to be going over most of these free agency signings. Definitely going to go over all the offensive playmakers, and I will be going over a lot of like the big time defensive guys who are on new teams. So I'm just going to get right on into it because it's some exciting stuff and I have a lot to say. So, John Brown, he signs a one-year deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Last year, he played with the Buffalo Bills, and he only played in 9 games. And in a couple of those 9 games, he was not actually 100% healthy. So it did hurt his productivity a little bit. He was the third or fourth passing option on that team, right behind Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and Dawson Knox. So really had to work for everything he got, and even when he was doing that, he was not 100% healthy. So wasn't as productive as he could have been. But I easily believe he could be the second best pass catcher on his new team, the Raiders. Right behind Darren Waller. Darren Waller, humble brag right here, I just got to say this. I actually called his breakout year before the 2019 season. Used my last pick in the football draft to have him, and I think he performed as a top 3 or I believe it was top 3 tight end that season. So, yeah, just humble brag right there. Had to say that, but so some good stuff. So now he's on the fantasy map, and everyone knows who Darren Waller is. But you know that Derek Carr loves to throw the ball long, and that's exactly what type of player John Brown is. He is a big-time playmaker, and I really think he's going to be a big contributor to Las Vegas Raiders and some of our fantasy football teams. So if he could actually stay healthy for the whole season, I think he's going to put up numbers comparable to Nelson Agholor. Nelson Agholor finished as the wide receiver number 19 last season. And yeah, that's the direct role he's going to be filling. He's going to be filling Nelson Agholor's role. So I really think John Brown could be a top 20 wide receiver this next season. He just needs to stay healthy. All right. Yeah, like I just mentioned, Nelson Agholor. Nelson Agholor did play for the Raiders last season, but now he is on the New England Patriots. Signed a 2-year, $26 million deal. Anybody who gets signed by Bill Belichick, Belichick's got to trust him. He's got to have some faith in him. So maybe Belichick knows what he's doing here. But Agholor did not have the most productive career when he first started his career. He was on Philly. Ask any Philly fan, they could tell you that they don't appreciate the guy. they've had some hard times with Nelson Agholor. But he was able to rejuvenate his career a little bit with the Raiders last season, and he really did put up some good numbers. He was the number 19 wide receiver overall, and caught for 896 yards and 8 passing touchdowns, or 8 receiving touchdowns. So some good stuff right there. Wide receivers 1 through 18 on that list actually were all targeted over 100 times in the passing game, while Nelson Agholor was only targeted 82 times, and he caught 48 of those passes. So he was pretty efficient when the ball was thrown his way. So if he got more opportunity, he could do more with it. I don't think he will be able to get that opportunity on New England. I'll explain my reasoning in a second here. Yeah, I believe that Belichick's going to feature Agholor as much as possible, but who knows how much that'll be. With additions like Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, and now Nelson Agholor, Cam Newton's going to have a plethora of dudes to throw to. And you know Cam Newton did not have such a great season last season. He only threw for 2,657 passing yards, 8 passing touchdowns, 592 rushing yards, and 12 rushing touchdowns. So Agholor put up 8 receiving touchdowns by himself. So I don't imagine that Cam Newton is going to give the ball more than what Nelson Agholor got in Las Vegas. So I definitely think he's going to regress. Unfortunately, it's not in terms of talent, but it is in terms of guess Cam Newton's talent. Yeah, Cam Newton needs to throw the ball more. He needs to throw his receivers open. He needs to crack that ball downfield and hope for the best sometimes, because just running the ball is not going to help your receivers. It's not going to help our fantasy teams. So yeah, as of right now, I really think it's going to be hard for Agholor to even crack the top 30 wide receivers, but who knows? They could get a lot better. Like I said, they added some playmakers on that team, and they can easily jump from 8 touchdowns to 20, but who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. That situation is definitely something to monitor. All right, so let's get into a veteran. Veteran AJ Green. He is on a new team, Arizona Cardinals. And yeah, it's going to be weird not seeing him on the Cincinnati Bengals anymore. He signed a 1-year deal for $8.5 million, and $6 million of that is actually guaranteed. The man is getting older, but I am sure he wanted to go somewhere to where he actually could compete and have a chance to get a ring. He's in Cincinnati his whole career, and I can't blame the guy for wanting to get out. No one wants to be in Cincinnati. Let's be real here. um, AJ Green has been regressing significantly for the last few fantasy football seasons. I know he hasn't had 1,000 receiving yards since the 2017 season, so that makes it what, three seasons without over 1,000 yards. So that kind of hurts, because back in the day he was getting 1,000 yards pretty constantly, and he was your top wide receiver off the board. But now he's transitioning to a different type of playmaker. He's had plenty of injuries, but usually plays through them. But now he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins on the other side of him. DeAndre Hopkins is going to command that double coverage. He's going to command the number 1 cornerback from opposing defenses. So AJ Green, for the first time in his career, he's going to actually be able to go against the backup corner, like the cornerback number 2, cornerback number 3. He's going to have an opportunity to actually make plays in more advantageous situations. So, although he's getting older, he might actually have some good statistics this year, making him a candidate for a possible bounce back year. Wouldn't say 1,000 yards. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say 700 yards maybe, and a handful of touchdowns. But I do think we're going to like what we see from AJ Green this year as, a wide receiver 3 on your team. So yeah, it's definitely going to help Kyler Murray out a lot. That NFC West is definitely a hard division to be in. So Kyler Murray has another weapon now. AJ Green. He is going to be, I would say, number 2, number 3 receiver on that team, and I really think he can put up some good numbers. So if you have a late draft pick to spare on him, I would consider using it. That's a player with a lot of upside. All right. Last player on this list is going to be Curtis Samuel. And Curtis Samuel is reunited with Ron Rivera. And he signed a 3-year, $34.5 million deal with the Washington... How much messed that up? Washington football team. And yeah. A source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Although Samuel found himself as the 3rd receiving option on his team last season, behind David Moore and Robbie Anderson, he was actually to put up some really good numbers. He was really efficient, and he was able to put up some decent numbers with the opportunity he was given. He finished as the 28th wide receiver overall last season, so this makes him so he finished better off than his new teammate, Terry McLaurin, Corey Davis, Cole Beasley, and Michael Gallup, along with many other names that you know. So he did have a pretty good year last year, and Curtis is given more opportunity. He could do even better this season. So I would really like to see what he can do over there with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, this signing gives the Washington football team some more playmakers to go along with Scary Terry and Antonio Gibson. So think their offense is going to do better this season. But with Washington football team, they want to run that rock and play stout defense. If they had it their way, they'd do that for 60 minutes, and that's all they do. But we know how the league is now, and you do have to pass to win. So yeah, he had Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback last season, and not the best, not the worst quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater threw for 3,733 yards last season, along with 15 touchdowns, and Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 2,091 yards and 13 touchdowns. Ryan Fitzpatrick did that in 10 games, and Bridgewater did that in 15 games. So I would say they're about the same quarterback. I wouldn't say Curtis Samuel has to downgrade or upgrade. I'd say it's a pretty lateral move as in terms of quarterback. But I do think Curtis Samuel is going to be given more of an opportunity because of his big payday. So Curtis Samuel, he very could possibly be a top 20 wide receiver for this next fantasy season. So covered a lot of good stuff. That's just 4 of the receivers. There are plenty more free agency signings that have been taking place, and I'm going to cover all of that with you guys. Definitely, I'm going to be going over the free agency signings and the draft that's going to be coming up pretty soon here at the end of April. So it's all exciting stuff, and I will also have my spreadsheet available for you guys. I'm probably going to post it, I want to say, in the next week or two here. I think I'm going to just post it uncompleted and add updates to it as it goes. So I'll post it on my website, DeGiorgioFantasyFootball.com. And yeah, check that out if you guys have a chance. Definitely think it has a lot of good statistics in there for you to make some choices for this next fantasy football season. And I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on all of this because, I mean, if I had a magic ball, I'd be getting all this right, and I would just know this stuff. But no one can know this 100%, And so it's really fun. A lot of speculation right now, a lot of exciting stuff to go over. So yeah, let me get your thoughts. And if you like the video, maybe give me a like, subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching DeGiorgio Fantasy Football. Have a good rest of your day.